ringing it up. I'm going to do a splash of Fireball in my lemonade. I'll be right back. Alright. I'm a big Fireball fan, so you might not appreciate it as much as I do.
It's not my favorite, but I do appreciate it sometimes. Hi, and welcome to the show. This is Seattle's number one comic book podcast, the podcast that's dedicated to the first issue of your next favorite comic. I'm Larry.
I'm James.
James, what you drinking?
What are you drinking on, Larry?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it is apropos. It is from Oregon.
Okay.
Elliptic Brewing from Portland, Oregon. It is the Zenith Grapefruit Goose. It's an ale brewed with grapefruit. It's seasonal.
Nice.
I had one yesterday. I'm going to have one tonight.
There you go. And I'm drinking lemonade with some ginger ale and Fireball.
Oh, to be young.
I don't know if it has a real name, but I like it.
Call it Bat Lash.
I'll call it James. James, the signature James or something.
So this is episode 73. We got the drink roll call out of the way. Episode 73, big show, Bat Lash.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Western.
It's not a Batman.
It's not a Batman book. It is Bat Lash, written by Sergio Aragones, art by John Severin, and published by DC Comics in 2008. And
does DC do Batman?
DC does Batman. But before we jump into Bat Lash, let's have some recent and decent.
That felt like kind of a stupid question. Like, even though I do get them mixed up all the time, that's like the thing that most people know is like, if you have any comic book knowledge, you know like Batman. And like, is he DC or Marvel?
Yeah. I wonder if my wife knows. I'll ask her.
Good one. Oh yeah, everybody, ask the people who you think don't know comics at all, and find out if they know if Batman is DC or Marvel.
What's DC?
I'm very interested.
What's Marvel? All right.
Yeah.
Recent and decent. This I couldn't give away yesterday at the club.
Oh.
But
that's high praise.
But I freaking loved it. This is written by Brendan Smalls with Eric Powell of the Goon fame.
I feel like I recognize those names. Oh, okay.
Art by Stephen Mannion, and it's published by Albatross, and it is called Galactatron. And it is a very...
Have we read anything by Albatross?
Well, I have talked...
I don't recognize that publisher.
Well, I think Albatross is Eric Powell's startup company, and Eric Powell is the Goon, who was published through Dark Horse. And I think this is his own arm of his own new publishing company. And it's new. So they have Hillbilly, Galactatron now, and one other one.
Gotta have Galactatron.
One other one that I'm reading. I can't remember the name off the hand, right now. Ooh, actually,
off the cuff, off the bat,
off the cuff. But Galactatron is.
How do you spell Galactatron?
This is a hard one because it's got.
I was just about to write it down, and I'm like, there's this middle part that's a little more difficult than the beginning.
It has funny writing as though it came through a computer. So, but Galactatron, I'm saying it wrong. It's Galacticon. It is GALAKTIKON. Galacticon. Galacticon.
That KON totally threw me. I was not going to guess that.
Now, This is a story about a superhero type guy who manages to save
the world.
No, a reporter.
Mississippi.
And they end up in romantic clutches, and they get married, and it's a real Brad and Angelina in space sort of thing. But
you mean like George Clooney and Sandra Bullock?
Maybe, but it's a little more futuristic than that. But Galacticon can't keep it in his pants, and he is sending pictures of his.
Gotta learn. That's like an important lesson to learn.
Pictures of his business to an underage stripper on a strip.
Of his business?
Well, you know.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it clean, but at the same time push this book because it was a riot. It's super funny. And so he's sending pictures of his parts to a underage stripper on a...
Oh, an underage stripper?
Well, his lawyer will argue that the planet that this underage stripper is from, the stripper planet that she is from, is larger than the Earth, so its rotations are...
What? Okay, this sentence just made me love this book.
It's so funny, and then
there's a stripper planet that he's arguing like how planets rotate for this legal case.
Exactly.
Man, all right, that summed up the whole story for me. I like that.
It's so loud on my end. I thought
you were going to say you accidentally haven't recorded.
No, I'm recording. We're definitely recording.
Oh,
so,
Larry.
Galacticon and his girlfriend or his wife have this amazing tabloid romance that ends after this infidelity, and they go to divorce court where we meet his lawyer, and he goes to divorce court, and his best friend...
Oh, sorry.
His best friend is a robot named T1, and T1, this is funny, T1 speaks in, I don't know if you have ever looked at like a guitar magazine, but there's a thing called tablature, and tablature shows you like a roadmap for playing the guitar. Rather than notes, you're playing, your fingers are, so...
It's got like the numbers of the fret and stuff.
Exactly, so T1 plays, and this is really funny. So if you want to play along with T1 and hear what his voice is, you get your guitar with a whammy bar and a fair amount of distortion, a whammy pedal set to +1 octave, and a wah pedal, a classic crybaby will do. You need, and then so you play the notes that T1 speaks. So his thought bubbles or his word bubbles are tablature. It's nuts.
That's such a cool concept. I've never heard anything like that before.
It's super fun, and when you're reading it, you go, wah, wah, whenever you read one of T1's. But it's great.
Were you able to do it pretty easy? I mean, you're a skilled guitar player, so...
I just went wah wah. But there's a front story and a back story. The front story is there is a prison guard set to hold a very nasty character who happens to be the enemy of Galacticon. And I'm not going to spoil what happens to him, but when you... So it's a hook. There's the hook. But when you look at the art here, and the art is done by Steve Mannon, even the good-looking people look like their faces are like so bumpy and lumpy, they look like oatmeal. I love it. This art is so crunchy. You're gonna love this book.
Okay. Is it very bright?
No, it's actually
bright colored.
No, it's actually kind of muddy looking. Like the art
that's way different than I thought.
The art is muddy, and it's not good, but I like it.
Bright colors. I was hoping it was a little more like comic-y.
Yeah, so check it out. Recent and Decent. Galacticon. It's such a hard name.
Galacticon. Yep. Larry, is today the... never mind. Today's the 24th, right?
24th.
completely unrelated to anything. Anyway, we're Bat Lash is the name of our book today. So should we dive in?
Oh, I definitely want to dive into this.
All right.
So Bat Lash is a Western, right, James?
Yeah. It's a very classic Western. It's almost like the most classic Western.
If you've seen a Western, you might have seen every trope thrown out in this book.
Yeah. Like, it's like halfway, it's like hang 'em high. It's got like,
somebody's going to be stealing somebody's ranch.
Yeah. Or the man from Larrabee or something like that.
Yeah, so we've done some bad things to the Comanche people.
Yeah. So and we got our main character Bat Lash, who the book is named after.
Bartholomew Lash.
Yeah. And I don't really like his name.
You don't like Bat Lash?
Oh, no, I don't.
I think he's such a great character because in the book, and I couldn't.
No, I mean he's a good character, but I don't like his name.
I love his name, Bat Lash. He is son of Zeke Lash, and characters I don't know. We meet them briefly in the book.
He's our hero cowboy character, and he and this lady have a little bit of their star-crossed lovers type thing, where the parents know that they're bad for each other, but they are in love.
Yeah.
And the girl's dad, what's the girl's name?
The girl is Dominique, but I don't know what her last name is. They never gave the owner
whatever.
Her dad's name.
Her dad's the rich guy who owns all the stuff and tells people what to do.
He's a rancher.
And and Bat, his dad's just a regular poor old Joe.
No, he's a Mustang. He raises Mustang horses.
Yeah, he raises Mustangs.
And he's under the thumb of Dominique's dad, and he also, just like every Western you've ever seen, is controlling this small town, including the sheriff.
Yeah, he's controlling the small town, and that sheriff is up to no good.
Yeah, he's a nasty character, and his name is Brubaker. What's his name?
Brubaker. Yeah, Brubaker.
Yeah, Brubaker.
Like the movie.
Like the movie. Only this guy's not good like Brubaker. This guy's bad.
No, this guy's bad, like evil Brubaker. Yeah, and so it kind of starts off with Dominique and Bat Lash kind of chasing after each other flirtily, and then off in the distance, Bartholomew or Brubaker spots him, and he wants to marry Dominique because she's been promised to him by the big boss.
Right.
So he's not happy when he spies this and decides to take some frontier justice and hang up Bat Lash by his neck.
Right.
In a tree. Hang him high.
The language here is silly. It's very
not like ha-ha silly, but lighthearted for sure.
It's lighthearted. I mean, like, you fork-tongued devil, or whatever he calls them. There's a lot of silly quips like that. And we're going to stretch him so long he looks like a snake. So they're dragging him behind the horse, and they're planning to hang him. It's not like they were saying they're saying it serious, but it's just a funny thing to say. Yeah. Yeah. They get him. And he's the marshal, so you can trump up charges on anybody.
Yeah, just say that he was cattle rustling, just like hang him high.
Yep, and
he was rustling this cattle.
Yeah.
Is that your mark on that steer?
So
I bought these from this guy. Oh, yeah, I like this story.
Side note: my wife had a business trip a couple months ago, and I was driving her to the airport, and she said, "How many westerns are you going to watch while I'm gone?" And I said, "All of them." I was going to watch them all. And
That's a good answer.
And I did. I watched a bunch. So I feel like I just seen this scene.
Yeah, like this. So when he gets shot down by native Comanche